Most concerning thing right now is the fact that people are trying to use politics to justify mental illness. And it's creating this group of people that want to live and stay in victimhood, and they want to create like a set of rules or structures based from victimhood. That's just going to create more reasons to be a victim. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's very concerning. It's like going to create more mental unwellness and instability because these people have not healed fully. They're not operating from like a healed consciousness. So they're going to be creating more unwellness for every single person around them, plus the youth around them.
Creating change that is actually needed is one thing versus just like being a wounded, hurt person and wanting to take it out on the world with particular things and policies. I think it's so weird and bizarre. I think it's also so weird and bizarre to be a terrorist in your own country. Like, you want to bring it down to shit because you're so upset with the policies and the things that are going on. So you're just going to go along and shit on it with everybody else and bring chaos and mayhem, and wreak havoc versus actually trying to assist it becoming better. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. It's like there's one side that wants to promote mental instability and mental illness and mental unwellness as like the end all be all. Like, this happened to me and that's that. So we're going to be living this way versus actually healing whole, bringing a wholesome remedy to the fragmentation. That's what it is it's like a bunch of fragmented humans that are fragmented, and they're like, no, we're going to live fragmented like this, which is actually harmful to a wholesome system living. Does that make sense? There's healed people and there's unhealed people. There's a group of traumatized beings that don't know how to heal, have not healed, and they're wreaking, like, that's the demonic fragmented nature that's going crazy right now, because it's all this unintegrated shadow. It's all this fragmented off light that is like being singed to heck right now with what our planet is going through. And it's kind of sad to watch. People are going continuously in these loops and loops because they're not understanding that they have to integrate their shadow fully. They have to bring these fragmented pieces of self that are fragmented from the whole. They've created disassociation. They've created fragmentation from the whole in order to protect itself. It is time, like those parts and those pieces need to all come back fully. It is fully time to heal. If you're a person that runs from pain, if you're a person that runs from self-reflection, if you're a person that cannot be mirrored to, if you're a person that can't handle mirroring, if you run from the truth, this is like why particular things are going to be happening, because you're refusing to face the truth of what is. You're refusing to heal. You want to stay a victim. And that is the side that is actually evil. To want to stay a victim and to promote victimhood and to not promote healing, that is evil, because it's going to taint every single person around them that believes that might have a stroke of victimhood in them. It's going to be like, okay, yeah, I can be a victim and that's fine. That's the most I'll ever be. When really we should be empowering people that no matter what has happened to them, no matter what they may have been a victim to, it does not define their strength or their capability or their capacity in this life. And to continue to be examples of that, like, no matter, it's my Phoenix code nature as a Scorpio, I'm always going to rise from my ashes. I'm not ever going to be the same version that I was, and I'm always going to shed skin. I'm always going to rise from my own death. I'm always going to take on these rebirth and reborning moments as much as possible, because why would I want to stay the same and keep things, in a loop that isn't working just because I'm afraid of change? I'm afraid to bring in the element of change. Like, no, I'm going to embody that fully because I know what is for me. is going to be scary. It's going to be a little nerve-wracking, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have that than be comfortable in a wonky, unaligned, misaligned, disassociated, fragmented space. And this is coming from somebody that has been through a lot of PTSD, a lot of disassociation, a lot of psychosis. There are things that fragment off, and weaving back these parts and pieces, weaving back these soul essences. It's called soul retrieval. Soul retrieval, y'all. If y'all are struggling with parts of your souls that you may have sold off, or that you may not have known that you even sold these parts of your soul, you can call back these fragmented pieces to weave in a wholesome, structured sense of self again. You don't have to continue sacrificing pieces of yourself. You can continue to weave back the pieces that you thought are gone, that your innocence, whatever it may be, your heart power, if you shut off your heart completely, these are not things that are permanently gone forever. But the more you walk away from healing it, the harder it's going to be. That's why you see these old people stuck in these patterns, because the older you get, the harder it is to change. The older you get, the more stubborn you get. You're going to stay in a pattern. You're going to stay in a routine, unless you're a person that is constantly always seeking the element of change and death and rebirth and rising from your own ashes, and say, like, shedding the skin, fully shedding the skin. This is about who wants to shed the skin and who wants to hold on to the decrepit skin that's making them sick, because there's some sort of payoff with it. There's some sort of payoff with having this ailment or this, disability or disorder, versus just stepping into that power of God, really. And we're able to heal so much. We're able to heal everything. All of this talk about our hells is just it's word curses on our bodies. It's not even real. The only thing that is real is the power of love, is the power of God. To me, yes, evil's real in this world, but when it comes to the power of love and the power of God, that evil doesn't ever it can't even step and walk around me. It won't survive in the vicinity of light that I'm casting and that I'm walking with. So this is about self-knowing. This is about self-worth. This is about self-value. This is about self-confidence and self-gnosis and true self-confidence, to know that you don't need crutches. You aren't a victim. No matter what has happened to you, you may have been a victim, but it does not define your capacity. It does not limit you in this life unless you want it to. You are not limited by anything that you do not allow to limit you. So if you're being limited, you're allowing something to oppress you. You're allowing something to oppress you. You are choosing to be oppressed. Does that make sense? You are choosing to be a victim versus using the privilege that you may have. You might have less than others. You may have more than others, but you're choosing to be oppressed and stand in that oppression versus then standing in your privilege and doing what you can to bring in the needed change that you're supposed to in this world. And time's ticking. We're running out of time, y'all. Let's get it together.